I'm Melanie, and this is Taji, and this is Simple Gourmet's life-changing cooking tips. You walk into a grocery store, you've got the grand plan that you want to go buy a steak, and you're not sure what to do. So let me give you some tips on how to buy beef. Look at the package, look at the labels. There's actually a lot more information on those labels than you realize. The first thing that I want to point out to you that many people don't know is that there are actually 3 grades of beef. There's Select, Choice, and Prime. Select is the bottom grade, and please don't buy it. It's just going to be a subpar piece of meat. It's not going to have great taste, and it's not great quality. Please look for Choice or Prime meats. All grocery stores have Choice for sure. Some of the better ones also have Prime. Places like Costco only carry Choice and Prime. So again, 3 grades of meat. Please only buy Choice and Prime. Next, look at the labels. The labels have to, by law, tell you what the package is made of. In this case, this is a New York Steak USDA Select. No. This one is a Choice ribeye steak. This would be the one that I would buy. You can also see the USDA Choice little logo down at the bottom. This little logo is actually, sometimes it's gold, sometimes it's red, white, and blue. But let me tell you, if your steak is Choice or Prime, they will proudly post that on their steak. So look for it. Another thing I want to point out to you too is make sure when you're picking up your steak, make sure there's no liquid at the bottom of the dish. What that's called is purge, and what happens is sometimes in transport the temperature drops a little bit, and when that happens, some of the juices of your steak will run out and create a little puddle at the bottom of this little foam dish. That's not a good idea to buy a steak that has that, because what happens is your steak potentially could be dry and cottony after cooking it. It's not bad. Your steak's not bad by any means. It's just the end result of your steak just may not be great. The next thing you want to look at when you're looking at a steak is look at the color. The color should be this rosy pale color. Unless the steak is aged, it should not be dark at all. A dark steak means an older cow. So please look for a nice general rosy color. This is a ribeye, which is actually one of my favorite cuts of meat. And the reason why I love it so much is because you see all this marbling in here? That marbling is fat, natural fat from the steak. And what happens is if the marbling is nice and thin like this, it's just going to melt into the steak and actually add more flavor. Be careful when you're buying ribeyes. In some cases, ribeyes could have a big clump of fat in one section. That won't melt away, so just know that when you're buying that steak, because if it's too thick of a piece of fat, you might want to trim that off, because if you don't, it will actually be a big piece of fat that you're going to bite into when you're eating your steak. So those are a couple of tips to look for when you're buying beef. Beef, it's what's for dinner.